Hey, everyone, it's Jeronica.
Cheers, this is Cheryl.
What up, this is Andy.
Howdy, this is Dalton, and this is Logging into UKG, a Chicago Users Group production.
Your HCM podcast by HCM admins for HCM admins.
That's us.
All right, so folks, we've got a good episode today, and
Absolutely.
we have none other than the president of Go-To-Market for UKG, Miss Rachel Barger. Hey, Rachel.
How's it going? Hey, Chicago User Group, how are y'all doing?
We are doing great. We're so glad that you took the time this afternoon to join us. And mainly not just for our own excitement and to learn a little bit more about you, but also for our listeners. You're fairly new with the organization. I think you said 6 months,
Yes.
approximately. You've got some fire and energy we've gotten to see this week. And we want to learn a little bit more about you. We've got some really, I don't think they're really too much under the curtain, but we may get under the curtain. It just depends on where this goes.
I'm ready.
All right.
Right.
So why don't you kick us off? Tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe your role, and maybe a fun fact. And I'm very curious. I'm always curious about people's family and personal stuff. So tell us a little bit about who you are, Rachel.
You bet. All right, so President Go-To-Market, so from a role perspective, I think I have the best job in the company, except for maybe Jen, because I touch the customer at every point of the life cycle. So I oversee marketing, so from the very beginnings of awareness or getting you inspired or excited about a new solution, all the way through the sales process, working with you on making sure that the solution has the right fit, bringing you into the UKG family. Then once the contract's signed, it's not over. That's where customer success comes in and being that red thread. So that's that one person. A support interaction comes and goes. A service interaction comes and goes. But your account team and customer success team, that stays with you. And then it keeps going round and round and round. So that's what's exciting for me in my role. And so
Love it.
for anybody in the user group community, if you need anything, I always say you have great account teams, use your account teams, but if you need anything, rachel.barger@ukg.com. Right?
You heard the plug.
Anything. There was no air quotes either.
They can't see it.
It wasn't.
Right.
I always say respect. If you have if you love your account team, respect your account team. Go through the right way. But if you need something, you know how to get a hold of me. And then about me, I live in Atlanta now. I have moved over since I graduated college, which was a while ago, I have moved about every 3 years to a new location. I've lived in Australia for 8 years in 2 stints. I lived in Singapore, I lived in Zurich, I lived in London. I have worked with customers on every continent except for Antarctica. I'm still trying to work on that one. If you know any, send them my way. Yes. And I have been with my amazing wife, who is an HR professional, who worked in hospitality for 15 years, 16 years. She's Australian, and I have 2 beautiful dog babies, Maltese Shih Tzus, Tiger and Cookie. They're 4 and 3. Nice. So that's a little bit about me. And my fun fact is I played, probably not in Chicago, but any field hockey players out there. I played on the U.S. national field hockey team and coached at Duke University. Yeah.
So what you learned, gentlemen, is she ain't just a boss, but she a boss you know what.
Right.
She gonna take you out on the field hockey.
I know how to use a stick. It's not It's different than ice hockey, but it's still good.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing with that. I think we've heard a lot about your role, but we didn't always get to hear about your personal life. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, and with that, all right, so, overseeing the whole entire product life cycle.
Yes.
What do you find as foresee your biggest challenge with UKG now?
Yeah, so I think as we get bigger and more solutions are added, more customers are added, I think the biggest opportunity, which could also is something that we need to work through, is I want the interaction with UKG to be completely seamless, no matter what team you need help from, right? Or where you need a question. And it's a journey, right? We are not there right now, because you can see the seams right now. But how do we use technology? How do we use AI to be proactive? How do we use the telemetry that we're gathering in the system to understand where customers might be having issues? And how do we make sure that that it is completely seamless, whether you're working with my team, with Bob's team, with Hugo's team, that it's just a one UKG experience. That's what I'm really, and actually a lot of my time right now is being focused on that.
I love that, especially because I can take that home too. We are a global organization, and we always talk about a one HR.
Yes.
So
Yes.
definitely
Same
relate.
thing,
Love it.
right?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
So on the same thread, so staying in that role aspect, what opportunity are you most excited to achieve? Because I'm sure you've got so many things you've got on that roadmap that you're wanting to chink off with. I've heard the conversations around what Hugo has said and AI and all these different areas. But is there something that when you get that chink in your armor, that belt, you're going to be like, oh, I'm so excited about that? What's one thing that you're really looking forward to?
Yeah, the one that I'm really, really looking forward to is, who here has met Michael Bush? Have y'all met Michael Bush?
I have. I love Michael.
Okay.
It's great.
I love Michael. And I think our biggest opportunity is really merging culture and technology together. And, I was talking to some folks earlier today about, you have to have a good cultural underpinning, a human cultural underpinning, to have a good culture and be a great place to work. But technology can help you through that process.
Absolutely.
And one of the things the team and I have been working on, I'm so proud of the work that they've done, is it all starts with trust, right? And everything starts with trust, whether it's my relationship with a customer or whether it's my relationship with an employee. And there are all these moments that create trust in a relationship, and Great Place to Work actually understands through tons of data and indices from working with hundreds of thousands of businesses, understands what some of those key moments are, and merging that understanding into our solutions to help people know, hey, if you do these things, you're actually going to increase these high trust behaviors that we know are going to make an impact to your employees. And then it's a virtuous circle, because then if you're using Great Place to Work, then you can then see the impact that it's making and or the new areas that you need to improve on, because we're always continuously improving. And the day that I know that we've ticked it is when people think synonymously about Great Place to Work and UKG and think about how that's actually a reinforcing proposition and how they're actually getting Great Place to Work insights through our technology. It's not just about being efficient,
Absolutely.
not just about reducing complexity, but how do we give back to employees? That's something that's super passionate to me.
I love that. And I think people forget, I remember the days when you saw the Great Place to Work magazines. That's how old I am, right?
And it's still happening.
It is still,
yeah.
That's really cool. I remember, in the business world, very young in my career, looking to see what companies I wanted to work for, and to know that we're partnered with an organization that's bleeding that into the technology and really kind of telling the whole life cycle of the employees and really making us think differently about what really matters at the forefront. It's great to hear that that's what it's about, because at the core of it all, people is really the most important, and we talk about that amongst us on the Chicago User Group a lot.
How do you use tech to become more human, right? How do you use tech to generate more trust? It's not an either or proposition, especially with AI. AI is going to be doing these behaviors and activities, but you still need that human. What do you remember when you go into a restaurant or when you go to a hotel or when you have a service interaction? You remember the human aspects.
And that's interesting, especially with AI, because their biggest fear is the AI kind of taking over the human aspect of it. So that's very reassuring to hear you say that. So great.
Yeah.
To help peel back the curtain a little bit, in your role, is there any sort of us being customers and looking in from the outside there, is there anything that you're super excited about that you could give us a sneak peek about and tell our listeners about and give us those juicy details?
Yes.
Come on.
There you go.
Maybe we haven't seen yet in the
Yes.
room.
Yes.
There you
Yes.
go. Right.
Or you were trying to get me in trouble with Hugo.
We sure are. Oh, we didn't say that. No, Hugo. No, Hugo.
Just kidding.
So maybe a couple things that I can tease that that won't get me in too much trouble. And nobody on the Chicago User Group is going to share any of this, right?
Absolutely not. No, just amongst us friends.
This is just our world.
This is just amongst our friends.
Right. Yes.
Just amongst our worldwide friends.
They won't hear this in Antarctica. So we're
Right.
good.
We are safe.
We're still
Right.
safe.
Safe.
No penguin listeners yet.
Yes.
All right, I'm still looking to get that though. Let's work
All
on
right.
it.
We'll work on it.
A couple things that I think it's, Hugo did talk a little bit about the vertical advantage. I want everybody to know we are getting super deep in vertical. So I am really excited. Very soon, I'm going to announce a new chief marketing officer that's coming, who is very focused on vertical. Okay, to really getting deep in the vertical, and really focused on product marketing. So how we really tell our story. So that's one piece around. Just be on the lookout. I'm going to be restarting the. We've always done industry sort of user groups at the product level. I'm going to be restarting the customer advisory boards at the industry, right?
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
That's
and
great
the functional
news.
level, okay? Because we also still need a payroll user group, and so we still need some of those functional areas or workforce management one, but we're also going to have the more industry vertical ones too, so that we can just talk about those industry topics that matter, right? So expect by the end of January we'll be reaching out to folks. We're also interested in getting folks that are interested in participating too. So come January timeline. I see some hands. I see.
Let us know.
There we go.
Well, if any of our listeners are interested,
Yes.
is there already a spot that they should start reaching out to?
Not yet,
Not yet,
but one of
okay.
the things, maybe if I will do a wide-ranging communication, but maybe just for the Chicago user group, I'll follow up with you guys after when we actually do the
Absolutely.
launch.
That'd be
Make
great.
sure your
Yeah, they
user
would love
group
that,
knows
yeah.
exactly where to go.
Absolutely.
The other piece that I'd maybe talk about, a fun one, is be on the lookout for an exciting golf announcement that might be coming.
I know you guys do a lot with PGA, so I'm kind of interested in what that's
There's
doing.
something, I can't say anything more than that. But
Should I learn to
Teaser, I love
golf? Is this mini golf? I'm just.
I did get a whole one today.
Yes. Oh, did you do that?
I did, yes. I got a
Good.
whole one.
Good. And I'm on a personal mission to get more women golfing. So,
Oh.
so there we
Yeah.
go. But be on the lookout for golf. Something cool, really, really cool around golf that the marketing team's brought out.
Okay.
And then one more thing from the product perspective, we saw Talent Marketplace this
Yes,
week,
we
Yes.
right? And it was focused on internal talent, right? And I think something that we're looking at is, are there opportunities then to also incorporate more understanding of gig, right?
Yep.
And external talent and things like that in the marketplace as well. So I think that's something that could be something that we look at more. So a couple teasers. Yeah.
Excellent.
Those are good
Thank
ones.
you.
Yeah.
I like
Thank you.
those.
So a lot of our questions so far have been about you and UKG as a whole.
Yeah.
But obviously we're having this opportunity to talk to you because we're here at Aspire.
Yes.
And although, when I look around the table, you're the one with the biggest title, but when it comes to Aspire, you're the newbie here.
I am.
Yes.
So with that in mind, like coming into Aspire, what did you think it would be like? What were you looking forward to? And now, as it's wrapping up, I mean, we still have Kelly Clarkson tonight.
Yes.
But
It's not over yet.
It's
Not over yet.
Yes.
but with that, the only thing still left. What has been your favorite part of it? So going into it and then coming out of it.
Yeah, so going into it, I mean, I'm super lucky that this is my event, right? This is my Super Bowl. This is the event that I get to spend most time and energy. You know, this is my, working with my team, our creation as a team. And so I did just start 6 months ago. So some things were already in motion that the team just did fantastic jobs on, and some things I got to fiddle around with. So it was exciting to see like the main stage, and I'd be super interested in your feedback. One of the fiddles that I made is doing the vignettes and telling the story around the product. And some, I'm curious if people liked that, if they didn't like it, but also bringing, the customers on stage, because I really wanted the viewpoint of everybody that we are putting the customer at the center of everything. And it's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to demonstrate it with symbols and signals. And then this is my Super Bowl, right? Like when else, like I am on a plane like at least twice a week, right? But when else do I get to see all of my friends, all my customers, all my prospects in one building, having so many meetings? And the one thing I will say, it's been 6 months, but I think I've met with, I think it's like 300 customers and prospects in my first 6 months. And I allocate a lot of time to that. I meet with probably between 4 and 5 customers a week, either through a web meeting or in person. But the amount of customers that I can then see here and actually touch and see in person and get feedback from, it's just unreal. So that's been awesome.
I will say this, we do have feedback.
We do.
Yes.
On day
Yes.
one, so you have to listen to
listen
our
to our
podcast though.
Yes.
If you listen
Okay,
to
yes, good.
live from day one,
Okay.
Inspired day one.
Can you give me a hint?
Well, no, there,
Well, hold on.
When does the
Cheryl wants
podcast
to hint.
come out?
It's already out. It's live.
Oh, okay.
We drop
It
it.
is.
We'll drop this
It's
tomorrow.
dropping live. Okay,
It's already
good.
live on
Okay.
Spotify.
All right. Well, then,
Yeah.
while I'm on the plane tomorrow, that's going to be
Listen,
Yes.
but I'll leave this. You know when something occurs and it sticks with people, it's sticking with people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So that's your hint.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's an ominous hint.
I know.
Even I'm like,
Perfect.
even I'm like, wait, what?
Now, anybody that's listening to this podcast,
They're gonna
is
go
back.
They're gonna go back and watch it.
Okay, I
that's
cannot
ominous.
wait. I'm loving
Yes.
this. And then, like, what do I think at the end? Like, I've just gotten, it's just been so cool to see everyone, to get everybody's feedback. And, I get some feedback that's not so good too, right? About like things that, we need to work on. And I so respect it and appreciate it. And I was actually able to talk to 2 customers that wrote to me and said that, hey, I'd like to, we're all here. I'd like to talk to you about something. And I was able to do that and actually try to resolve things in the moment and get the right people involved. So that's, I love it. And I'm actually, Joy and I've already started thinking about next year and Lisa and what we want to do next year. So couldn't have been happier. I'm tired. But we all are.
People are like dragging.
I'm tired. And one other thing I have to plug, Viola Davis.
Oh.
Right?
Whoa,
Yes,
we
we'll
talk
get
about
there.
her
Yes,
too.
All right, so I won't
She's-
say
yes.
We talked about her on
did.
day 2.
Yes.
Live from Aspire day 2.
Yes, you have to listen to that one now.
Yeah, you gotta follow us.
I will.
And first off, whoever picked her, I think it was
Kudos.
it was on point, it was targeted, it was right now. As the resident, corporate black woman in the room, I'm just being honest for those who don't know, I am black, and I'm a woman. I think that it was, for me, it resonated on a whole other level. I've told these guys, these folks know me, so it was very good to see someone else speak for the folks that don't get to speak for themselves. And your interviewing, the way that you allowed her the space to breathe and tell her story. And I think that spoke volumes to what she could do and how she could connect with us. And I won't give, that was my real teaser, but that's personal to me. We walked away from that all feeling differently.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I have to tell you, if you have not read that book yet,
I've ordered it today.
I will tell you, as somebody who did it, listen to the audiobook.
Okay.
Like, because she narrates it, it's in her own voice.
Oh.
And this is a back a stage teaser so anybody that listens to it, she imitates her husband, Julius, and does his voice in a lot of the aspects of the book. And so
Awesome.
Julius so I walked into the green room before we went out, and hi, I'm Rachel, and Julius says, hi, I'm Julius. And I was like, oh my God, you sound exactly like it was in the audiobook. So it is you have to be present thinking through like the book. And my one ask is, if you get it, go through the whole thing. It's hard at the beginning, right? It's hard for many chapters, but it's real, and listen through the whole thing, and it's just an amazing story.
I'm glad you said that, because I hate audiobooks with a passion because they have weird voices.
But now
And
that it's
so I
narrated,
wasn't
yeah.
going to get the audiobook.
Yeah.
I literally had in my cart the physical.
Yeah, get
so
the
now
audio.
you've changed my thought. I'm going to go back and get the audiobook, and I can listen to it on the plane.
That's right.
you
Totally.
go.
And that's
I
what
love
I was doing. Yeah.
Now I got to jump in with a question with that real quick.
Yeah.
So I know, do my faces at me. that Andy's making faces. So there, while you were interviewing Viola, there was something that I thought about, a book I read many years ago, Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg.
Yes.
And the one takeaway that I got from that was, what would you do if you weren't afraid?
Yes.
And as you're doing that interview, it came back to me. And I'm thinking, at some point where you're at now, you did something because you weren't afraid.
Yep.
Are you willing to share that moment?
Sure.
You might have several, so pick your favorite.
Yeah, so actually, I quit my job to join the U.S. National Field Hockey Team. So I'm super proud of my family. We work really, really, really hard. I was a very good field hockey player, but I walked on, and so I didn't have a scholarship, and so I had a lot of college loans, and I was actually selected for the U.S. team, but I had to decline and go to work because I thought I needed to do loans and everything, and then I was afraid, so I worked a couple years, and the chance to go to the Olympics came up, and I was one of the
amazing.
people that they said, well, why don't you try out again? And my mom and dad, who I loved dearly, they said, Rachel, like, if you don't try now, like, you're going to get too old, and this is like a unique time. And so I did. I quit my job, and I was an independent contractor for, that time. And we didn't make it to the Olympics, and I was just hanging on by my fingernails because I was older.
Yes,
but I was on the team, and I did it, and I scratched that itch, and then, and I'm so glad that I did it every day. And I learned so much about myself through that process, and I fought really, really hard, and I'm so proud to be a U.S. national team member.
Now, what year was
amazing.
that? What year was
Gosh, that would have
You gotta tell
been
us. I gotta go look it up.
2002, right?
You know him. She knows I'm
Me
going to look
too.
it up.
Yeah,
I'm like,
look it up.
I'm going to be looking it up. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some sort of YouTube video out there.
Okay, well, if you do find it, my hair was terrible back then.
Hair, ladies. We're going to support her still.
That's right.
It was
Her
early
hair's great
2000s.
now.
It was early 2000s. It was a different
good.
time and place.
But you'll never have that what if. You did it. That's
right.
amazing.
That's
love
right.
that.
I would
Thank you
say
for
now,
sharing.
after that, like, always think about what's the worst thing that can happen, and really
Yeah.
think about it. And I guarantee you that worst thing that you're thinking about actually isn't all that bad, and you can always come back. And I did, and it changed my life, because then I went to another company that started me on the journey that I'm on now today, and it was the right thing.
I love that.
So you told us about this being your first Aspire conference. So deep down in your core, how has Aspire inspired you?
Yeah, it's inspired me by talking to so many customers that have done so many cool things, yourself included, and customers getting up there and sharing their story. And then the inspiring part is then talking to other customers that are like, oh wow, now that's cool. Like Benny from City of Detroit. Yeah, I don't know if that team is part. Oh no, Detroit. Of course not. They're a competitive user group.
we still have
still
some.
have
We're
you.
inclusive.
Okay.
We're
inclusive.
inclusive.
All
We're
states,
inclusive.
international. Yeah.
A number of folks from the Michigan user group board go ahead and attend our meetings.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Yes.
there's a lot of like
Collaboration.
cross collaboration. There we go.
Yes.
Second
Taking a
mistake.
break.
You only get three until the end of the year.
Counting.
Yes.
But it's just so inspiring and proud, or the Innovator Awards. And I do want to say, submit. Don't have fear. There's no downside in submitting an Innovator Award. You probably are being, oh, that's not as innovative enough. Put it out there. Make sure get recognized for it.
I think we can talk about this.
Just say it, Andy.
Yes.
Just say it, Andy.
Come on, say it.
We did
Yes.
submit an award.
And you didn't get one.
Yeah.
Tell her what it was for.
Right. You got to give her the background.
Yes, we did.
You've said it on our
Okay,
behalf.
so the Innovation Award is there's a lot of customer base
Yes.
awards and but we're doing something a little bit more unique here in that we're come from all different backgrounds, all different customers, and we're coming together to help provide that support and guidance and knowledge.
Wait, you all submitted as one.
As
Yeah.
a
I
podcast.
love that.
As a podcast. So
Well, we didn't get it.
yeah.
We didn't get it. Well, and I
return on
think, but
investment
you know what the
wasn't-
cool thing
yeah.
is I'm glad we're having this conversation.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
toyed whether or not we were going to bring it up, but the reality is the most
It is
important thing that he
innovative.
said is we're innovative in a different
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
we do, not only with the user group, but with this podcast, how it started was we're techies at heart,
Yeah.
but some of us are a little bit more leadership. Like I'm very network focused.
Yeah.
I spend the majority of my time at the conference helping other businesses
Yeah.
build their business with UKG, and that's kind of just my passion.
Yeah.
But the thing about this is the four of us don't live in the same city. I don't live in Chicago at all.
Neither do I.
Where do you
He
live?
doesn't. I live down south by St. Louis,
Okay.
Missouri.
Madison, Wisconsin.
He lives in Madison. So none of us live there, but we find ways to not only help each other, but help other customers.
Yeah.
And for us, innovation looks different than just
Tech
respectfully
innovation. Yeah.
doing a workflow or building some cool tool
Yeah.
in the system. Because for me, innovation is, like you said, I meet a customer
Yeah.
and they are ready to quit UKG. They're ready to walk out the door. They're talking about a BI challenge or a technical payroll challenge. And we are able to partner and connect them with not only one of us, but others.
Yes.
Or even sit down with them ourselves. That to me
Okay.
is different type of innovation, but I like people. So
Yeah.
it's a different.
Okay, so
consider us for
here's
future.
my, see, that's why I love connections like this, right? Because it's best intentions by everyone. We have these award categories, but we need another award category, right?
Right,
So that we
yeah.
can, because There is. It's like this human aspect, right? That's human innovation that y'all are doing. And okay, so thank you. I'm glad you said something. You opened the door. It was perfect. I love it.
Perfect. Yes.
So next year when we come back here, we can play that episode again and say, remember this.
Right? Did you see us all look at Andy because we knew it
was a moment.
Yes.
But see, I'm glad. Like that's what I'd say to everybody. Please say that thing that you're holding in, because then we can either disagree about it or we can be like, oh shoot, like that was a missed opportunity.
And to be fair, for all of those that are listening, there is no knock on who won and who wins.
No,
right?
there's no shit.
I'm
Yeah,
always
totally.
wanting to say there's no pride in that.
No.
But for us, I think Andy was really proud of us, and this was
As
his
you should
idea
be.
for this podcast. I was the latest bloomer to the Chicago user group. But we're so proud of the work we do, and we think that it can be replicated, duplicated across all of the UKG family, and I think he really just wanted to celebrate us. So
Yes.
Well, it's all about elevating everybody. So it's not
Okay.
just
Yes.
this group, but
Yeah.
our listeners and everybody that we deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Anyone that is involved, and it's the same thing as like BE&I or DE&I, like it's on top of your day job, right?
Yep.
Like
Right.
it's all an effort to lift up and support. So I'm glad you said something. All right, that's
Yeah,
food for
good job.
thought. Food for
And
thought.
elevating. We talked about that yesterday
Yes,
too.
we did.
Bringing it all full circle. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
awesome. Anybody got any other burning question? I'm looking at Dalton because he always has extra questions.
Yes.
Well, I sort of want to piggyback off of one of Cheryl's questions from earlier.
Yeah.
Cheryl asked you about a moment in your life where what did you do because you weren't afraid?
Yeah.
What about bringing that to now?
Yeah.
What is something that you would do now if you weren't afraid? Something that you're working towards? Because we're always all working towards something.
Yeah.
None of us are standing still.
Yes. So one of the things I recently did, not being afraid because I thought it was the right thing to do, is I changed the account management model and I reset a lot of accounts. And that absolutely disappointed some people, frustrated some people, and probably, and you know, you can always communicate things better and things like that, which are critically important, and we always learn and improve. But I still think I did it because I want to improve the seamlessness of customer interaction. And when I came in, I knew that's true, but I could either do it and sort of rip the Band-Aid,
Right.
or I could wait, but then I really couldn't implement what I thought was necessary. And I really couldn't create super teams of getting people working together again and again and again and creating repetition and creativity. So I would ask for a little bit of grace with it, and it's super good. I'm
Takes
going to
time.
love that word.
Yeah.
You guys know that's my word. I love that word.
Yes. I use it all the time. Have some grace for yourself.
That's right?
Yeah.
And I am 100% convinced, especially in talking with some of the teams that are really accelerating in on it, and more importantly, talking to some of the customers that are a part of those teams. But it will take some time, and I'm so sorry if you lost somebody on your account that you love dearly. Oh, like
We're all pointing at, yeah.
that gentleman
They
over
lost
there.
him.
Yes.
So for the folks who aren't in the room and can't see, the four of us on the podcast are all part of the user group board, and we have a UKG rep on the board with us who is our connection and our lifeline, and he was the ERM for some of the folks on the group, and that is our very own Dave Polchebek.
Who is awesome.
Yes,
by
he
the way.
is awesome.
awesome.
So if we can
Yeah.
keep him on the user group board.
Well, that's
it'll be
different.
good.
User group
Yes.
board is different,
Yes.
right?
You can stay wherever you
We'll
want.
keep
Yes.
you. Yes.
No, we
Yes.
love him.
You can't get rid of us that easy.
Right.
You can't.
Sorry,
One of
you
the
gotta
things,
stay.
I think first off, I appreciate it, and I want to dig in a little bit more there, is that you've done this a couple times throughout the Aspire, is you've sat in it, is what I call it, and you've owned the mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love
And
that.
Thank you
Love
for that, because I
Thank you.
think that as customers, sometimes you have conversations and it feels like lip service, but you've owned the things that didn't work well, you are confident, and you stand behind the things that you know will work well. But what I would ask is, how are you handling those communication strategies going forward? Because I think anything can be solved with communication. So are you putting different practices in place to maybe better communicate with customers when big sweeping changes are coming?
Yes, and a couple of different things. So one, Jen has hired a chief communications officer because everything starts with communications, right?
Absolutely.
And that is going to actually help put parts of the communication process together under one leader who has significant communications expertise. And things like the release, right? Product release, right? Getting to that, some of those communication aspects, getting to them so much earlier in the process and incorporating customers in them. So, that's one aspect. Another aspect is, and I will own it because I actually personally sat down and worked with a team to try to make the CSM, CAM, SKM communication as what I thought was as clear as possible to make sure that people didn't feel like they were losing something. But obviously, it wasn't clear enough. So in that aspect as well, we're going to be sending out another communication with an FAQ, just being clear that the ERM role was sunset, but the people weren't sunset, and they were actually, and they weren't actually. And we only lost a very few, and I'm sad about that, but they didn't want to fit in either of those two buckets, and so we told them, okay, we can understand that if that's
They had the option.
They had
which
the
was
option.
good.
They
Yeah,
had the
that was
option
great to hear.
because it's fantastic talent, and the folks that wanted to be account managers, they were probably less interested in getting into the tech a bit, right? Which is super fair. And a normal that was a lot of the ERMs were relationship based and strategic, right? And then the rest of the folks, we said, we really need you to get super trained in the system, right? So that you can get more hands-on. And so I would ask that everyone, and you know, we've had some things where folks have been on maternity leave, unfortunately, and we didn't catch it, or I wish the community announcement could have come at the same time.
Sure.
But we did have to make certain choices to be kind to our employees too, and with transitions and so, you know what, it's something that I struggle with all the time, and I hate it when we create a suboptimal experience, or I hate it when something hasn't come across the right way to a customer, because I really do think customer success has to come from your heart, and you really have to care.
Love
that is, and we have, you know, even down to communication, like email is such a terrible form of communication, sort of like text. And working with the team, we're going to be doing a sort of a change effort around reminding the team what it's like. Like if you have an urgent tax issue, how do you speak to somebody with empathy to make sure that they know, hey, I got you, right? I'm looking into this and working through some of that. So a lot of thought, about 60% of my day since for probably the last maybe 4 weeks is spent on this initiative, because I think it's the most important thing that we can do.
It is. You go back to that human element, and we're all from different companies, and you know, with Dave with UKG, we consider ourselves family. I mean, we get together, and it's we have each other's backs. You know, and I love that. I got you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, and keep the feedback coming, because you have to stay agile and keep changing with things. We do as UKG. We have to keep agile and keep taking feedback. But I do feel like we really need more technical, you know, customer success management support. Technical is the wrong word. Configuration or like system-based support. Because there's a lot of questions that are coming from the system that are not break fix. They're not actually support cases. A lot of them are training, education, those kind of things. So no, it's a key focus.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And those cabs too. Keep them coming.
Yes.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, I don't know if we
Sawdon, you get the last one.
Ooh, there you go.
boy.
The last one.
No pressure.
Oh, boy.
Okay, make it a good one.
Oh, jeez.
Right.
Mess up this opportunity.
Right. Or we're gonna have to start counting your mistakes.
No,
Really
and we'll end on a bit of a lighthearted note. I mean, we all know what our unread email messages look like. What does yours look like? What does your Monday look like?
That is a really good question. And I have a lot of folks helping me too, so it's pretty desperate situation. So actually, there are very few unread, because during breaks I try to look, but I really have this goal. I don't have an inbox 0 goal. I have an inbox 100 goal, and because I don't like to file them until they are actioned, or I've really read them. But I'm not really there right now. So
Hey, but you're honest and transparent.
It's
Love
just
it.
in a
Yes.
bucket.
That's the fear, right?
Yes, there's the fear.
But I
email.
do,
Yeah.
on the weekend, I have a little bit of time. So we'll
Breaking
see.
chairs in the podcast. If you could only see
Right
Andy.
region over there.
I don't
This is
know.
a great
Andy,
answer.
goodness, don't
boy.
tear up the people's furniture.
Charge it to the room.
He's like a rock star or something. He's like breaking the furniture.
Talking about breaking chairs instead of guitars.
I love that's going to be on the podcast now.
And you
Say
will always
whatever.
remember that, right?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think, you've spent a good half hour with us, and we absolutely
Appreciate it.
appreciate your
Yeah.
time. This has been fun. Your
Yes.
energy
A
is
lot.
infectious.
Yes, we love
We've
it.
heard from so many people how energetic and fun you are, and I was like, she better not be done. I literally said it. I was like,
Monday we're like,
was
no,
like-
she's got it.
I was like, are you
good.
sure?
We're good.
So I am happy to report, guys. No, absolutely. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your transparency, your candor. Thank you for agreeing to sit down with us.
Yes, thank you.
Being
Absolutely.
one of the most, I think, we always say seniored person in UKG that's decided to join us on our podcast. We're just a little measly podcast shooting for 600. Even though
Right.
use it right
Goals,
now.
hashtag goals, we're gonna do
hashtag
it.
goals.
I feel
So
it.
without that being, I like to throw it over to Dalton. Any other things from the group? You guys
All good.
good?
No, all
Dalton,
good, thank
it's on you.
Yeah.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much for taking the time today. We really appreciate it. Yeah, this has been a Chicago Users Group production. Logging out.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
all.
Bye.